the co-credited song John Lennon said Paul McCartney didn't actually work on. The songwriting partnership between John Lennon and Paul McCartney is one of the most celebrated in music history. As the driving force behind the Beatles, they co-wrote many of the band's biggest hits, often blending their talents seamlessly. However, not every song attributed to the legendary Lennon-McCartney partnership was a true collaboration. One such case is the song In My Life, which John Lennon later claimed was almost entirely his own work, despite being officially co-credited to McCartney. The dispute over In My Life. Released in 1965 as part of Rubber Soul, In My Life is widely regarded as one of the Beatles' most introspective and poetic songs. The lyrics reflect on nostalgia, memory, and the passage of time, showcasing a depth of emotion that set it apart from many of the band's earlier tracks. Years after the song's release, John Lennon stated in interviews that In My Life was almost entirely his composition. He explained that he had written the lyrics as a personal reflection on his childhood and experiences growing up in Liverpool. According to Lennon, McCartney's contribution was minimal, limited to some possible input on the melody. Paul McCartney, however, remembers it differently. He has claimed that while Lennon wrote the lyrics, the melody was a joint effort, with McCartney playing a significant role in composing the music. This contradiction led to one of the more well-known disputes between the two musicians regarding songwriting credit. The Lennon-McCartney dynamic. Throughout their partnership, Lennon and McCartney often worked on songs together, but they also had individual compositions that were credited jointly. This was part of an agreement made early in their career to share songwriting credit under the Lennon-McCartney name, regardless of how much each contributed to a particular song. While this system worked well for many years, it also led to occasional disagreements over who deserved more credit for certain songs. Lennon's strong assertion about In My Life was an example of his later efforts to clarify which Beatles songs were predominantly his. This became more prominent after the band's breakup, when both he and McCartney sought to distinguish their individual contributions to the group's success. A lasting legacy. Despite the debate over authorship, In My Life remains one of the Beatles' most beloved songs. Its poignant lyrics and beautifully crafted melody have resonated with listeners for generations. Whether it was primarily a Lennon composition with minor McCartney input or a true collaboration, the song stands as a testament to the brilliance of the Beatles' songwriting. The Lennon-McCartney partnership produced some of the greatest songs of all time, and even with occasional disputes over credit, their combined genius continues to shape the world of music. In My Life is just one of many examples of their artistic brilliance, proving that their legacy will endure for decades to come.